I don't have...
Oops. Take two.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do. And there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat, and we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad. Worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we are living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and crime in the street. All I know is that first you've got to get mad. You have got to say, I am a human being, God damn it. My life has value. So I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window. Open it. Stick your head out and yell, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. I want you to get up right now. Sit up. Go to your windows. Open them and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell and I'm not going to take this anymore. Things have got to change, but first you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm as mad as hell and I'm not going to take this anymore. Then we'll figure out what to do about the depression and the inflation and the oil crisis. But first, you've got to get up from your chairs. Open the window. Stick your head out and yell and say it. I'm as mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Good morning, everyone. And it's so nice that you could stop by. But then again, I guess, Bubonic, you can change it to I'm as high as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. That might work. You never know. Wow, actually, my throat's a little gritty. I am very pleased at the fact that my Saints won today. Now, here's the normal ritual. This is how I keep myself from getting totally plastered at a bar. Instead of drinking when the drink goes dry and getting a refill, the only time I allow myself to take a shot is when the Saints score. Not when anybody scores, but when the Saints score. So, back in the early days when the Saints really sucked, they didn't score a lot. So, I didn't really get pounded. Well, tonight they scored 45 fucking points. So, I'm glad I was not drinking. Because that would have been bad. That would have been very bad. Okay. Yeah, I can go with that. I'm as high as hell, and I'm going to hit my bong some more. Mmm. Ah, nicotine. Precious time that we have together. Delicious, wonderful nicotine. And let's see here. Where is it? Good God. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. You know, I marked these fucking things. I should know where they're... Okay, there you go. I was sitting there trying to figure it out. When I was the guy who went through 4 days of hell watching... there are some really, really bad OBS tutorials out there. Don't let them kid you. And a very good morning to you, Sir Adamantine. The benevolent and loving co-host is currently finishing up an IRL gig. Okay, yeah, bubonic. That definitely works. Around my neighborhood, most people don't really give a shit because usually there's cops flying down the street. You hear gunshots, and there's a strip club that's about a half block away from here. More of a bikini bar because, of course, of the laws. And you can usually always hear somebody fighting or pitching a bitch out there. Ugh. My God. Okay. God, my throat is raw. I think it's because we kicked. I think it's because we kicked on the furnace, so we got that dry heat coming up through the gravity furnace. And hello, Kadan.
Hey.
How are you?
Tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got an early. I got a date tomorrow, and my freaking psychotic little sister is being paranoid, and I'm just tired of dealing with so much bullshit.
Well, I guess you missed my intro then, huh?
I did.
I did the speech from Network. You know, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. And my throat hurts for some reason. Oh, good morning, Lord Byron. I should probably throw not only the link to Byron, but toss it off to Addie too, in case he feels of the mind. Oh God, you know, there really has to be a better way. Why don't they just have a search feature at the top of the DMs? Is that too much to ask for? There it goes. Are you just being quiet? Are you going to be able to tough it out? You do sound a bit nappy.
Yeah, I'm mentally exhausted. You know, like it's been. I'm just fucking drained. Like, and there's nothing for. I mean, there's plenty for me to rage about, but there's only so often I can rage before it's just like, okay, like, go and get some rest now. You can't just stay ragey done forever. I'm like, I can sure fucking try. Like, let's fucking go, because fuck, like, I'm so fucking sick of fucking dealing with people. I'm so fucking sick of fucking playing fucking games, you know? Sorry. I'm not doing this right now. I'm not gonna do this tonight, even though it slightly invigorates me because, hot damn, the rage gives me anything. It gives me something so good to just hold on to instead of, like, I don't know, the rest of the bullshit that goes in my head.
And good morning, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, it's not called the Ramble Stream for nothing. It does not disclude you from being able to rage or rant.
I know, but it should be the ramble stream, not the cadunt goes on a fucking rant against, people who can't make up their fucking minds and who like to play fucking games and who won't just fucking come out with some fucking truth because, I don't know, you fucking little bitches. Fucking you stupid fucking bitches. God fucking damn. Like, get the fuck. Just go fuck off. Like, if you could go and just fuck off and stop fucking around and playing with ugh.
Well, the R is replaceable with rant or rage. That's why I use those two words. You can slide it in there. That's no big deal. Addie's already in bed, so he can't come on. What are you wearing? What are you wearing, Addie? Something.
Nothing done.
Something's
just for you.
Something. Something silky, I hope. Something smooth to the touch. Well, I tell you what. Let me go ahead and knock off something for you to look at in the no context. Wait a minute. God damn it, I keep forgetting what it's called.
No context tweet.
No context tweets. Okay, can you guess what this is?
Dildo.
This is actually what I was doing today. Well, besides the fact that when I made dinner tonight, it was my first experience with turkey bacon. Mm-hmm. Holy fucking shit, is that stuff miserable. I mean, legitimately, it's like pressed turkey pieces that are thinly sliced, and they cook up like shitty ham. Okay, so do you know what that is?
It looks like dough.
Nope, that's my colostomy bag.
Oh, okay.
No, that's not my colostomy bag. I'm not there yet.
Yes.
I went out because occasionally in the back alley people will dump shit for no apparent reason. They'll just dump stuff left and right. So this time around, somebody had dumped a shitload of old household chemicals, and there was half a jug of CLR in there. So I'm like, okay, I know what CLR smells like, so I'm like, CLR doesn't go bad. And I had this this quartz crystal plate, and I took and I poured what was left of the CLR into the bag, and I dropped the crystal plate in there to have it, take off some of the calcium, lime, and or rust. And soaked it in the bag most of the day. And it was a pretty cool piece. The cool thing about it was it's got spires coming off of the plate itself, but the plate is actually made from another layer of crystals that formed, and then crystals formed on top of that layer.
Oh.
So here's what it looks like after I did the dip on it. Because initially the only thing I did was just clean it.
Mhm.
And there's matrix on it. There's matrix all around it, and without just going at it with a wire brush, which you can do because quartz is a very hard and very difficult thing to scratch. Um, so you can actually go at it with a wire brush, but you know, like I'm going to be able to go buy chemicals. So you know that was kind of a cool thing that I found that. Um, and yes, if you take a look at the twatters, you'll see the result. Now, here's something I didn't know. This was an Arizona quartz plate, and yeah, if you pull it up, you can see into it. Now, do you see those little orange things?
Yeah.
Okay, that's rust that's formed into the actual spires. I had no idea that that actually existed in it. It's called a hematoid formation where iron gets trapped,
Mhm.
and it almost looks rutilated. This piece itself is probably I think it's about a foot long. Wait a minute, let me see. Let me be accurate. God damn it! No, it's 8 inches by 3 inches, and the tallest spot on it's like 3.5 inches. And I bought it off this guy a few years ago because he needed drug or cigarette money or whatever the fuck he needed. But I picked it off of him for like 15 bucks,
Mhm.
and I just let it sit there. But I thought that was so cool that once I dipped it and got a lot of the calcium and the lime and the rust off of it, that this thing not only has the hematoid inclusions, there's also spots on it where it does rainbow refractions, and it also has what do you call them? Phantom inclusions, where it's a crystal inside of a crystal.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it also has there's one part on it that has record keepers, which is supposed to be very rare. Those are like the little chevrons that go up the side. But yeah, so that's what I did. I cleaned a rock today, and of course I watched my Saints win, which was nice because they knocked off the only undefeated team for this season. But yeah, I thought I was being smart because there wasn't a lot in that little jug. As you can tell, I couldn't actually drown the whole thing. But I had to figure out how to push the liquid up to be able to get it to cover as much area as possible. So I actually took packing tape and folded the tab ends, and so it would push the water up, and then I put a towel underneath it to push it up from the bottom. I felt almost smart. I'm a fan of what do you call it? Um,
Feeling smart.
no. Of practical physics.
Mhm.
You know, trying to figure out puzzles. I mean, if somebody sets down a math equation, yeah, fuck it. You know, I quit. Not that good at that kind of shit. So you know, you can pass me on that one. But if it's something where you're sitting there and you're looking at the pieces of it, or you've got all the elements and you just have to devise the way to put it together, I kind of love that shit. And good morning, Patrice. Good morning, John Doe. Good morning, Fright Supremacist.
Good morning, Patrice, John Doe, Fried Supremacist, and Morningwood.
The Fright Supremacist says, good morning, Kadak.
Kadak.
Wait a minute. Is somebody shipping us? Now. You know we are both taken. Good morning, Alex.
Hi, Alex. Did you ever see Morningwood?
Well, are you talking to Alex or me?
You. Morningwood, way up there.
Oh,
It's
no.
my new streaming channel. Sorry for the shameless plug, Doc. You better be surviving. I just lost my most beloved Anon. You stay put for a while. The trees ain't ready to deal with more loss just yet. Word. Sorry.
Yeah.
My brain
Well,
immediately
have a wrench. Morning word.
Word.
Wait a minute.
My
Do
mistake.
we know morning word?
Well, they know us, and that's all I
Yeah.
need
Okay.
to know.
That's good. That's good. Losing your anon is not cool. So what, was Trippy playing something or something? It looks like he got a takedown on his chat or on his last stream.
Oh, I have no idea.
No, but yeah, I was playing with Pretty Rocks today. If I ever thought that I would go on camera, or if I ever really wanted to, I could take everybody a trip along my silly rock collection. I still think the coolest piece that I have, and I have several pieces of it, is it's petrified wood. But it's called Enchanted Forest Petrified Wood. What happened was there was this place, I think it's in New Mexico, where they had like a huge brush fire many thousands of years ago, of course. And the wood that petrified was black. And it crystallized. So it's all sparkly and pretty. I wish I had the brains or the ability to put up the GIF of it, but no, good God! All right, cut it out, phone. There we go. I think I got a piece of it that I can show. But what happened was that they found it. They found the Enchanted Forest Petrified Wood. They found it in the 1950s. And of course, rock collecting wasn't, something that was really heavy duty back then. But, there were people out there. And so they started mining it. Well, it was kind of in the way of a water project. So the only place on Earth where you can find it is this one spot. And they built a dam and they flooded the valley. So if you ever wanted to mine Enchanted Forest, you would have to dive down in a diver's suit and try to mine underwater. But this stuff isn't even listed anywhere. There is something similar that they find in Germany all the time, and it's called bogwood. It's petrified wood, but instead of being black, it's actually brown. So it kind of looks like a turd. It kind of looks like a glittery turd.
Nice and shiny.
Yeah, well, here's a picture. I think this one will do. This will do, pig. This will do. I've actually passed out quite a bit of it that I've gotten to other rock collectors because they didn't know it exists, and it technically I guess it still exists, but the funny thing about it was the guy that I got it off of, he got it off of an old collector that just had boxes of rocks downstairs. And apparently one of his buddies mined a whole box of it. We're not talking about a huge box. Maybe like, have you ever seen those medium-sized baseball card boxes? No, that's it was filled with it, and that's the only known existing samples at this point. Because if somebody else has it and in bigger quantity, then more than likely it's just on personal display. But there we go, and I am so speedy. I am so technically savvy. I am pretty. All the girls love me. There we go. And don't ask me what it is back behind it, or what it's sitting on. I think actually it's sitting on a slab of dendritic picture agate. But this is what Enchanted Forest petrified wood looks like. Well, the weird thing is, Morning, is that literally you can find the brown sparkly version all over. But actually, Morning, this is one of our gimmicks. It's called the no context tweet. So if you go to my Twitter, you can see the pictures that we're talking about. Yeah, actually, after the Saints game was done, I started watching Making of a Murderer 2. I'm not finished with it yet, but apparently they brought up a whole bunch of new evidence and they're trying to take it back to court. Wait a minute, are you familiar with the original?
No, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be in the sequel.
You are?
No.
Wow.
No, not starring in the sequel. It'll be about me.
Oh. Well.
Making of a Murderer 3. Pedant.
Well, it was about this guy up in I think it's like Minnesota or Wisconsin, because that's the way that they talk. Oh well, shit. Make sure and post that up, Bubonic. Drop a link in the side chat. You got the ranch, brother.
Oh, I love it. I'm gonna share this.
Damn, girl, you sound like you got more health issues than I do.
Oh. I've been trying to kill myself for years, and it seems that the best way is nice, slow, painful bronchitis.
Oh, I never get bronchitis. I always get pharyngitis.
Yeah, I always seem to get bronchitis. Although it's usually around this time of year, so like it's nothing new. But I am going to be doing my own no context tweet on the Twitters because I was scrolling through another social media site because you can never have just one, you know. But I found this thing, and it's
the one with the kitty. Or is that your pin tweet? No, that's your pin tweet.
Oh, yeah, that's my pin. I love that one though. Revolution. But no, this one.
That's why I don't let fucking cats in the bedroom when I'm sleeping.
It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. Time for what? Revolution.
Is there?
Oh, that entertained me so much. I'm gonna be pinning more tweets later, cycling through them. You know,
Oh,
and that one was just too adorable.
that's what.
Then I'm like, I'm gonna keep it for a bit.
That's
You
what's
know.
been driving the cats fucking insane. Uh, we have floor vents because this is like a really old house,
Mhm.
and apparently uh, the mice have been using the floor vents as an escape route.
Oh.
Of course, they weren't really escapee very much today because Black Cat got a hold of one and ate half of it, like apparently she likes to do. But she only eats the head part. She only eats the top of the body. She never goes for the ass.
She likes to crunch.
Eh. Yeah, we used to have a couple of tiger stripes, and man, could they eat birds? They loved eating birds.
Yeah, I have an orange tabby. He actually likes lizards. He doesn't like eating them. He just likes killing them and bringing them to me. Um, the the tuxedo one that we got, he likes to bring me birds whenever he actually like figures out how to hunt, which I know he knows how because he's brought me birds before. But definitely my orange tabby is more of the hunter.
I can't tell which one. We had a run in like 2 days where they caught like 12 mice, and I mean it was like the Malay massacre, man. They were body parts, little mouse body parts laying all over the fucking hallway in the on the top floor, and they just seemed so very proud of themselves.
Well, they should be. They actually did their job.
Mm. Well, no, apparently their job is bugging the piss out of wifey until she pets them.
Oh, where's my Xanax? God fucking damn it.
Fuck, where's my Xanax?
Yeah, tonight's gonna be a nice pilly night. Just so I could maybe stop being so angry.
So now I'm curious. I know fright supremacists can't jump on because the Globetrotter stuff. But what countries did you eventually visit, or was it just Spain? Lord Byron, I refuse to watch the new Sabrina, even though I was curious because I watched Riverdale, a little bit of it, and I was scared because it wasn't that bad. Although, the coolest that Archie has ever been is in the comic books, they did the most unlikely crossover ever. They did a crossover between the Archie gang and the Punisher. The Punisher comes to Riverdale to hunt somebody down, and that somebody looks exactly like Jughead. So the Punisher throughout the book is trying to kill Jughead, which he should have killed him on general principle anyway. But
Not everybody can be perfect. Oh, there's my Depakote. No, I want Xanax. Fuck it, I'll take Depakote too.
there's a quota of pill eating in my house, and wifey is the one who fulfills it. I haven't had a bit of my prescribed medication for over a year now, except for like when I go in for the TIAs, they'll always give me a bottle of something or some such, and it's like TIAs technically at least from my point of view, it doesn't cause me any pain. I mean, it just basically deprives me of motor skills on my right side. And but they'll invariably send me home with some type of pain medication. And anytime they're like, we're going to go ahead and prescribe you Tylenol 3, and I'm like, no, you're not, because apparently you didn't read my chart that I'm allergic to codeine.
Yeah, my mom can't do penicillin, I believe, or iodine, something like that. Oh, fuck yeah, Kahlua.
Well, I can't use penicillin either, but I've been using ampicillin since I was a little kid. I was a sickly little fucker when I was a kid. Here, this is just some random bottle that I pulled out of my desk drawer. Let's take a few of these. I will share in your imbibing from a distance.
Sweet, because I'm having myself a Kahlua and Bailey's and Depakote and Xanax chaser.
So it's
something. I'm mixing all the things tonight.
So it's like a pharmacological mudslide.
Oh yeah.
Oh, speaking of alcohol, I know there's like 10 people here, but oh well, I guess since I started speaking alcohol, somebody else dropped out. But anyway, the people that are here, I'm thinking of doing a drinking stream. Because I don't think anybody's actually ever. Well, there's only one time that I've been really plastered on any streams, and it's hard to find. Matter of fact, it was technically my first appearance on a stream where I was actually invited and promoted. And they were playing the game Never Have I Ever. And I thought everybody was matching shot for shot. Well, no, they had like their little beers and their little wine coolers and shit, and they were just sipping it. I pounded 28 shots in an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And needless to say, well, I had to say it because nobody else was there. I hit the floor. I mean, I was legitimately on the floor, passed out, and because how they had their Google Hangout set up, they couldn't actually kick me.
Yeah.
So I was laying on the floor, and every so often you'd hear me going, I'm all right, I'm all right. And if you listen really closely at the time, I'm not going to give the time code either, but you can hear me start puking. And it follows up with a "God damn it, cat," because the cat came around and I puked on the cat.
That's it sounds good.
It wasn't good for the cat apparently. But then again, cat learned a valuable lesson that day. Well, why do you keep doing?
You know what I just realized? I just realized the name of the stream.
Yeah.
Is Rum Tum Tugger. Sorry. Rum Tum Tugger.
Yeah.
And it makes me a little sad because I don't have any rum, but I would definitely add that to this.
Well,
Hey, Ichabod.
No, I'm reserving my what booze I have left for the talk with Merc on Tuesday. Honestly, I've been kind of looking forward to talking to him about this because he's a big part of the Michigan militia, and I don't think anybody. Anybody who sits down with militia usually has a preconceived notion of who they are and what they do. I don't at all, so I'm kind of looking forward to sitting down and having a little bit of explanation. Yeah, I mean, some of the pills that I have are really outdated, so I might have just taken a stool softener. I have no idea.
I mean, it could be outdated, but it could either be exceeding in strength or lessened uh, exponentially in strength. Either way, that's usually how it goes when pills are expired. Is one or the other.
Oh God, I would love to have me hands on some Ambien right about now. This stream would die if I got my prescription to Ambien back. Cause hell yeah, I want to sleep. Wait a minute, did I say a good morning to John Doe?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and
If not, good morning, John Doe, just in case.
And Ichabod, I tossed you the link just in case. Hmm. Well, I could throw it out to Bubonic too, because I gotta pull up Discord for that if I remember correctly. Because he was a bad boy on the Twitters.
Oh, that's a very bad. You don't do that, you go and be bad.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm fucking saying anymore. I'm just trying not to be mad.
You're killing dead air, and that's a fine thing.
You know what? I'm probably also killing brain cells.
Well,
Shit.
Well, now I did read a JAMA article. You know, they talk about how you kill brain cells and they never come back. That's a lie. They do come back. They're just fresh ones with no information in them. So you must fill them up.
Hey. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you having fun yet?
Yeah. You guys can hear me and everything? 'Cause it doesn't show that I can.
I don't hear shit.
All right, cool.
Hi,
What are we doing?
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Oh, try and make this girl smile a little more maybe tonight.
I'm just taking some pills, drinking some booze.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that'll work. It's a little loud on my end, so
Sorry.
I'm just potting it down a little bit.
Oh, I can turn myself down here.
What's your
that a little-
Twitter, Bubonic?
My Twitter is permabanned from Twitter and Facebook.
What?
Like I'm IP.
permabanned.
Yeah, I'm IP banned from both of those from both Facebook.
Okay, now wait. It takes quite a bit for Facebook to get rid of you. Was it for the same reason?
No, this was in maybe 2016. I got a video on it. I had caught, it was a local issue, the local police department, the local mayor administration, and the newspaper. And I were in a tiff because I caught them.
Ooh.
We had a 5-year rash. We had 5 police officers. At the time, there were 25 police officers in the city. And over a 5-year period of time, we had 5 hookers come up missing or dead, and 5 unrelated, supposedly unrelated, separate disciplinary actions prosecutions of police officers involving with rapes.
Wait a minute. Did you say 5 dead hookers?
Yeah. We had 5 in a town of 23,000. We had 5 dead women come up missing. They're like a discovery, whatever there is. Got a discovery mysteries or whatever. They did a whole thing about it here and everything. It was, they were coming up pretty regularly missing. Like they had thought maybe it was a serial killer. I still believe that the police had something to do with it. Very, very heavily involved in it. The police were very, very heavily involved with the drug trafficking that was here locally. Like anyone in the underground knows this quite plainly.
And wait, it was in a town of 23,000.
Yeah.
That's like a tenth of the people that live in my city, and I think it's a podunk.
Check this out. We had the level of rates as far as police corruption goes that think of 5,000 New York police officers over a period of 5 years being charged or being connected to rapes.
Jesus.
Okay. Now the police, the newspaper locally, they're just I accuse them of being cucked to the Fraternal Order of Police because they actually helped them dox. There was a police officer, off-duty police officer, who found this couple arguing at a bar. They had him arrested, had the charges changed on his arrest so that he could not catch bail.
Oh.
They ended up hours later. Her ex-husband ended up calling 911, and the cop rolled up on her running naked out of the rape house. They had taken her to a police back to her hotel room and ended up at this house.
Holy fuck.
And and it was such a bad situation that she actually called her ex-husband to come to try and rescue her. The police chief and the newspaper both doxed that victim, outed that victim, publicly named her before he was ever charged or anything. It was 6 months before he was charged. They allowed that officer to walk in and pick up his indictment for rape and walk out like it was just picking up the mail.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, before he was charged, he was let go for that. And before he was charged, he was already a CO at a local prison. We have 3 local prisons here. 3 prisons, and the largest federal mental institution is here. That's the size of a college camp.
So when you were moving to the town, was this on the brochure? Was this the selling point?
My mom from here. I'm originally from Cincinnati, and when my parents divorced, I moved here. I really didn't have anything to do with it. My mom's side of the family's here. I ended up staying here because my kid's here until he had graduated, and then I promised that I would stay here. But I've moved away from here for a few times.
Well, if it's in Ohio, Ohio's like a black hole. It just sucks you right back.
Yeah, that's true. Chillicothe is much the same. It's much the same. We call it the Twilight Zone. All roads lead back to Chillicothe, we say.
Oh God, the
another one of those cases. This was a legacy. Was Officer Stanhope, I think his name was. Yeah, and he actually, according to the complaint, they had gotten this rape. They had gotten a rape kit from the hospital, and it turned out to be a cop. And according even to the FOPs and the city's paperwork, he had fucked her at the FOP twice.
Jesus.
They let him go. Steal his shit. Only one cop was out of those 5. Only one of them was actually convicted, and it was for he was having sex with, I guess, a 13-year-old. That was part of his church youth group. He was a counselor at a church youth group.
Ugh.
And they gave him. I think he spent. He might not have. I know it was no more than 2 years for that.
Yeah, I tell you, when I drive through Chillicothe, I drive through with the windows up because of that goddamn paper factory.
That's between the paper mills. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. Then, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know here's the thing with it. To make it even worse, okay, we got a paper. This was actually the USA Today annually used to put out. You know, they got the little infographic box on each of the 4 sections on the front page.
Yeah.
Annually, they used to have the Armpits of America, and Chillicothe would be it every year. Not only do we have, it's not just 1, 2 paper mills. We also have a high sulfur content in the soil around here, and the coals and stuff. And so whenever it rains, you get that sulfur fart smell.
Yeah.
On top of 2 paper mills, plus Bridge Street, which is right by that is nothing but restaurants and fast food. So when you drive down like that major street, man, some days it's just horrible. Like you can live here forever and still it's not as bad as it was. It used to be so bad that they used to get complaints from Cincinnati 100 miles away against the wind.
Well, when I lived in the projects, we lived next to a corn processing facility.
Oh, yeah. It's just a distillery.
Yeah, Cargill. and legit, man, in like at the very least, like a 5-mile radius, you can smell it. Okay, this is how bad it was. It was so bad that the people who live close to the Cargill plant, they stopped painting their houses. They went ahead and just bought either vinyl or aluminum siding because sometimes it would get so pungent it would literally peel paint.
Oh shit, yeah. Yeah, the Mead used to, when Mead paper was here, that's what paper was. If you lived within so many blocks of that paper, you got a free paint job on your car. I'm wanting to say every 10 years, every year, some deal like that where you would get a free paint job because it would, that factory just being close to it would peel your paint. We have the highest cancer rates, like just about anywhere. We actually lead the state in all areas of pollution.
I think actually I'd rather have a free hand job.
Yeah, yeah, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
Kadun?
because the paint's just going to peel again.
Yeah.
You know, I can't unhand job again.
Mm-hmm. So Kadun, what do you think? Paint job, hand job?
What?
We'll let you know what thoughts are paint job.
What? I could hear her pills rattling, so I know she's not paying attention at all.
No, I'm on 5 Depakote, just Depakote. Only 2 Xanax so far.
We were talking about, and so you say 5, that just means a whole nother thing. I'm like, wow.
What? Okay, I have to ask this. What color are your footballs?
Mine are blue.
Oh, okay. So they're middies. They're not purples.
Blue? No, they're blue. They're not yeah.
I used
That's
to.
the Xanax, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to.
I took the one time the one wrestling event I've been to, a buddy of mine and I split with it. Is it called a ladder or a bar or something? Is that what it's called? It's Xanax. I don't know if they still make them. It was white. It was like 4 blues or something. I don't.
Yeah.
But anyway, we split one of those, and I had a beer, and I only remember like the very end of that fucking wrestling.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I used to
Like,
eat purple footballs like Pez.
yeah, I can't do pills and drugs. They really fuck me up. Like I did. I blew up my hand on a table. Actually, the wood on the table saw blew, and it knocked my hand into the blade, my left hand into the blade, and I ended up having 6 reconstructive surgeries.
Jesus.
And they had me on, I forget what though. It might have been Vicodin, and the other one was a nerve thing. And I had to quit it after the first 3. I did my reconstructive surgeries with no post-op.
Well, there's a
Post-ops med.
Well, there's a
because I can't deal with.
What's that? There's a goddamn label on the fucking pill bottle that says "Do not operate heavy machinery."
Oh no, I wasn't high when I was like doing that, but no, I mean after the pills they gave me afterwards, like I couldn't. I didn't like the way they made me feel. I didn't like it was, what was it? Man, I can't remember what the nerve pill was, but it was like making me mean. I mean, it's just that narcotics change, and I would rather do. I had to have my hands scrubbed by a nurse, like the scars or the 3 wound scrub daily. And like to where I would want to throw up, and it was still better than being on the narcotic.
Okay.
Like I don't deal with it.
Here's the thing I can't understand. Every time I get hospitalized, I'm in for usually between like 5 to 7 days, and you'll have this very attractive nurse come in and be like, "Well, if you're not feeling so clean, we can give you a sponge bath." And
yeah.
Now I took them up.
And then some dude comes in and rubs you down, right?
I took them up on it, and all of a sudden, appearing out of nowhere is these scroungy little fucking male orderlies, and I'm like, you're not going to give me a boner. Where's the chick who sold this to me?
Yeah. I can't fap to this. Yeah, I was only actually in the hospital like a couple of days on that injury. I lost a lot of blood that injury. I lost like 5 pounds of blood that day.
Jeez.
I lost 1. I ended up. It's like if you take your first bone coming out of your hand, of your ring finger, and you just take it out and move the rest of the finger back up. That's what's left of my hand. Middle finger was shattered into, I think it was 16 pieces.
Now,
and it's all wired together now internally and shit. Which is funny because my avatar name at the time was Jack Hand, and they were like, "Oh, you really taking this shit too serious."
yeah.
I found some alprazolam.
Yeah, are we like witnessing an OD?
No, no.
Wait a minute.
You're not witnessing it. The camera's not on.
Wait a minute. What is that one? I've never heard of that one.
It's very similar. It's orange footballs.
Mm.
It's a benzodiazepine. Oh, fuck, what's
I don't
it?
know what that means.
It's something. It's a benzo.
Oh, I know, like the shit that they taught you in Dare in 1988. You know, like you have uppers, you have downers. Marijuana's the devil. Cocaine. I don't even think they talked about meth then. And no one cared about heroin at the time.
No, technically meth didn't exist when I was in my teens and going through school.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I just don't remember that until like the mid to late 90s.
Well, I remember.
Seemed like all the meth I ever heard of then too was MCs. You know, you'd hear about MCs smuggling meth out west, making it in the deserts and shit. Motorcycle gangs.
Oh hell, a buddy of mine did 5 in the joint for legitimately trailer trucking bricks of pot, and I mean like the whole tractor trailer was filled, and he actually only got like 5 years for it because he was the driver. And it's like, yeah,
I just pick up. What the fuck do you want, man? Like,
Oh, I don't have a lot.
you know, he did his time. He paid his debt. I think he was in. I think it was in Lebanon.
Lebanon, Ohio?
Yeah. Oh, well, no, Lebanon Correctional.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a buddy who was a guard there too.
Oh, no shit.
And he was like, "It's too stressful." And I'm like, "Dude, you're not in Lucasville."
Yeah, Lucasville was some shit, man. I remember when that riot happened. I was in school when that shit went down, and they like had that shit posted up on. We had guards that lived in Chillicothe, and which why you would drive 45 minutes a day to go there is just beyond me. When you got 2 prisons right here, but I guess Lucasville really paid out better than Chillicothe or Ross County.
Well, yeah, because
Ross Correctional Facility.
Well, yeah, because it's considered high risk. Not like,
well, especially after that, right?
Well, yeah. Well, no, I mean that's where most of the lifers go, and the violent offenders, the really violent ones.
Yeah, that's where the death row is now, right? Death row is at Lucasville, isn't it?
Yeah, because
still there?
because when they closed Mansfield, they moved it down to Lucasville.
My brother was in a music video in a Mansfield prison. Trying to think of what the band was. The song was Awake by, man, what was it? They were big in like the early turn of the century. What was that? They're still doing music, I guess.
I don't know. We went to a they used to.
Who's the band that did the song Voodoo?
Godsmack.
Godsmack.
Yeah, Godsmack did a video there at the Mansfield prison. My brother's in it, and he had like a ponytail on top of his head, just being goofy. And the one spot in the video you could point, you can't tell anything, but you see that ponytail popping
around. They used to hold the Mid Ohio Con, the comic book convention, up there in Mansfield, and one time when we went up. We decided, we came up like a day early, so we decided to do some acid and go take the tour. Now this was before they filmed Shawshank. This was in the 80s, and they didn't film Shawshank until the early '90s.
Right.
And one of the coolest things in there was it's so dilapidated that they used this type of industrial paint to paint floors and ceiling. And the paint would peel off in sheets. So it was hanging down, and to us it kind of looked like somebody had skinned a giant and were hanging up strips of flesh to dry.
Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, that would be pretty terrific. I think the craziest thing I did on acid is, do you remember the Gus Macker basketball tournaments?
Yeah.
I did like a 10 strip one time, and we just went down there, and I got isolated by myself. It was just me and thousands of people, like, basketballs everywhere and shit. That's pretty intense.
Oh, dude, we used to try to figure out places to go. And good morning, Lotus Wolf.
Hey, Lotus.
We went down to Antioch College and tripping balls, and we got to sit in and watch a glass blowing class. That was pretty cool. We also got blitzed. And do you remember Raul Partha?
No.
They were the guys who started off. They were the first company that made like little lead figurines for like dungeons.
Oh, Dragons and shit like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I didn't know their name, but I know who you're talking about. Like, they've made everything.
Well, they were based like just a couple blocks away from Xavier. And,
Really?
Yeah. And so we called them and we said, hey, what would it be if we, can we actually tour it? And they're like, yeah, come on down. It's like, do we need to set a time? No, just come down and knock on the door. And it was a factory that they converted, but it wasn't a big factory. I mean, it was like 2 stories. And
yeah, Cincinnati's got a lot of those from where they used to have AK Steel.
Yeah.
So there used to be a lot of fabrication that took place down there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was an old AK building. But we came in and there was a bunch of hippies, guys that were high, and they would take us around and go, yeah, here's where we do the sculpting part. Here's where we do the molding part. And then they took us back to the back where they had all the figurines set up in these little slide boxes. And they gave each one of us a little slide box, which is like, I don't know, man. It's about half the size of a shoe box.
Right.
And they were like, for $5, man, you can go around and just fill up whatever figs that you want. You can just fill up. And of course, the dumb part about it, well, nowadays, anytime they do figurines, they're aluminum cast.
Okay.
But
they were like pewter then, right?
No, lead. Legitimately,
they were lead. They were straight lead.
Yes. So we were trying to figure out whether or not that these guys were fucked up by their job or they just came in fucked up.
Right.
I mean, because there's these big, huge lead crucibles. And the reason why they said that they used lead was because of the fact that it was easier to do trimming.
Yeah, it's a lot valuable. I mean, damn.
But
yeah, I could. How many years of that do you have to do before just it's going to be in your blood system? Just from.
I don't know, man. But there's a reason why the phrase "mad as a hatter" is around.
Right. Well, that was Mercury, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, they put Mercury in the bands, but lead will drive you crazy too.
Yeah, that was Nero, right? Nero was from drinking out of lead goblets.
Yeah.
That's what they ended up. Like historians finally decided on. That's why he was dancing on playing the fiddle in the fire.
More
Rome
than
burned.
likely. Um, but then again, I don't know if I would have adapted well to a Greek culture. Although they did invent
Yeah,
the
well, that was
aqueduct.
Roman, so Roman was a lot less gay than the Greek. You
Well,
know, I'd have fared better in the Roman times.
well,
I mean, we're basically a model of Roman curia system.
I just have to say that any society. Oh no, wait, that was the Romans. I apologize. The Romans did the aqueducts and all that shit. But
Yeah. That wasn't the Greeks.
but
The Greeks wasn't even really like a nation. I mean, I guess you had Alexander was the only time it was really like a unified Greece, but it was more or less nation states up to that.
well, yeah,
Like the Greek peoples.
yeah, I would have to say that definitely it would be the Romans that I wouldn't be part of their civilization, just because they spent funds to create public vomitoriums.
Yeah.
And really, you just need to know when to stop instead of creating a place where you can do puking rallies.
Yeah, I think it really depends on what part of the Roman Empire you discuss on whether or not I would want to like be a part of that. The earlier Rome wasn't so much like that. That really got like that once they started really conquering everything, and they just ran out of things to do. That goes along with the idea that some people think that humanity needs to suffer in order to thrive. Like once we get too comfortable, once people get too comfortable, they just slack, and that's when that's when societies break down. It's definitely a
Well,
real problem.
I really should ask Lotus Wolf why she said no. That was her only comment was no.
We were talking. I think you were talking about when I said Doc. No, Doc. No, not the cat.
Uh,
That's the only reference that I have. Like with that, I don't.
yeah, she just gave a simple no. So now I am intrigued. I'm more intrigued by the rattle of the pill bottles.
Right? We got like a
They're not.
percussion group in
They're
the back.
not. They're not. They're not. They're not.
They're working.
Empty yet.
Yeah, they're working.
It's either that or the booze. I don't know which. I found a bottle of wine, but I couldn't find my bottle opener because it's like fresh, like seal hasn't even been broken yet. And I was hunting for that for a bit, but I kind of just kind of just gave up on that because it's fuck it. I got Bailey's and Kahlua and I don't remember how many Xanax I've taken now, and as well as blah blah blah.
You sound much happier. Might I say your disposition is starkly.
What do you mean?
Oh, you're not. Let's see your rage now. What was you raging out about before?
I don't know, some bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here you go.
And it all drifts away.
This is why medication, self-medication, makes it medication. And then you take the pill and you chase it with some alcohol.
And
Ow.
a good time was had by all.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You take a few pills and you chase them with some alcohol. Good times are had by all. I don't know.
Well, a buddy of mine was like, "Hey, did you know that Bob came into town last week?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't get a call." And not like I could afford it anyway, because now his quarters are running somewhere around 75 to 100, because he's got the Spider-Man sticky icky.
Oh yeah, that's standard around here.
You have no idea. I'm gonna go get myself so fucking high.
I think what's around here right now. We got rock candy. Seeing that Cali Mist. Damn, what else was around?
Well, I can't afford I can't afford it in two different ways, um, monetarily, and if they actually uh, do kick in that medical clause where they want to drug test you when you're going for your
Yeah.
Mm.
disability.
Yeah,
So
that's some bullshit.
yeah, but welcome to Ohio. The only place
Yeah, right.
that we have legal medical marijuana passed, but we can't do it because the
Hmm.
verbiage of the bill says that it can't be transferred interstate. It has to be.
Well, we call it the medical. What would we call it? The Medical Monopoly Act. That's what that was.
Oh yeah, because there were five guys who stood to benefit very very well from recreational, and it's just like I was getting the word out saying, guys, don't do this because it's going to form an oligarchy. So
Hmm.
hang out, wait for it. There'll be a better bill coming. So just vote no on both of them.
That was crazy the way they did that too. Like, well, you're supposed to vote yes on one and no on the, like they were just trying to make it convoluted.
Yeah, but if you voted no on both, then it killed everything, and still the
They'd
the
have
the, the medical marijuana one passed anyway.
well, the oils passed. You can get the oils. You can't actually get weed in Ohio still.
By the way, did you see that Trump removed the ban for CBD oil
For transportation?
for use to
Oh, really?
yeah
Really?
to keep
So
it legal.
cool. No, that's nice. Yeah, because the CBD oil, there's no reason. You're not getting high from that. There is no reason to treat that as it's some kind of like it's alcohol or some beer or some recreational thing.
Oh yeah, you can get
Nobody
sleepy like
smokes.
a motherfucker.
Nobody smokes. Nobody smokes CBD oil for recreation. You know,
Let's
like they still want that THC high.
let's see. If you are on any other legal narcotics for pain management, you probably won't be able to smoke weed too. Well, that's what I'm hoping because everything in the state of Ohio has switched over to pain clinics because the doctors don't want to have
Yeah.
the prescription. What is it called? It's prescription medical malpractice. So if they don't prescribe any red labels, they basically just send you to a pain clinic.
Yeah, one of my best friends is a surgical nurse, and her unit is slowly converting into like what they do. And these things are weird. They're doing pain implants, like where it's like a device that they're implanting into people.
Oh yeah, the
That
pump.
yeah, that just pumps the shit in directly. I'm just like, wow. And it's just that's what the business is. I mean, the medical industry's turned into. I believe that's about a third of their cases right now in total for this surgical unit. And they were doing just whatever. It was anything non-major. They weren't doing open heart surgery or anything.
I'm trying to think.
Um,
My buddy got fucked up in a motorcycle crash, and they gave him these pain patches.
oh, the morphine patches?
No, it's not morphine.
Really? Yeah, that's the only ones I've ever seen is the morphine patches. I've never done them, but I've seen them.
I can't think of what they are, but this is the new wave because supposedly they said that this is non-addictive, and they are wrong.
Yeah, anything's addictive.
Mm.
Yeah, anything, especially if it's going to make you feel good, you can get addicted to that feeling good and that need for that dopamine or whatever that chemical releases in your brain, that feeling that you fall in love with. Now, if you don't get that without any item, any singular item, you're going to become addicted to that item psychologically. There's no way around that.
Well, I mean that's the whole big thing with pot too, because people.
But yeah, that's true. I mean, but that's not specific just to pot. I mean, when you talk about drugs, though, you talk about physical addiction. Like heroin, you die coming off of that too hard. There are physical withdrawal symptoms that are notable. There's no physical withdrawal from marijuana. You're just pissy about not having weed.
Yeah, well, I mean, alcohol is the exact same way. The shit will fuck you
Yeah,
up.
you got to have really severe, like if you what do they call those DTS when people detox from alcohol, but you've got to be severely alcoholic.
Oh,
You've got to be like,
oh,
oh, what's his face from Leaving Las Vegas kind of drunk.
dude, I had DTS when I quit caffeine.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Wow. Caffeine's a hell of a drug.
it fucking sure is, and that's why I will. Well, okay.
Caffeine's probably the most widely addictive drug out there because it is. I mean, it's considered a drug. It is a drug,
Well,
and I would assume that
well,
easily the.
we were going through shopping at Walmart, and I'm like, I'm really thirsty. They're 2 liters, are only 99 cents. So I grabbed a vanilla cream soda, and I I took 2 big chugs off of it, and I shit you not, within a minute, I was sweating, I was jittery.
Wow.
It was A&W cream soda, and I didn't know at the time A&W was the only one that actually added caffeine to their cream soda.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that. So I'm a Barks guy.
Uh, as long as you're not an RC cola.
RC, man. God, I ain't even thought about that. That shit in decade, man. RC, remember when they like in the 80s when they were sending like cold and you get like it in the mail or some shit, they just send you a can. Did you ever have that?
No, but
Shit was horrible.
actually, John Doe, that's pretty much the kind of thing that killed Amy Winehouse too, because she was a hardcore drunk and stopped, and then when her body was actually trying to readjust, she started drinking again, and that's what made her cross over. That's what made her, run up the choir, or run up the curtain and join the choir invisible. She was an ex drug. And speaking of women, Kadan.
I didn't really know who she was until after she died. Like I didn't really pay attention to her or anything.
Yeah,
I just remember everyone being really upset, and I'm just standing here like, "Wow, that's a cool rock."
um, I think she made Club 27. I'm pretty sure.
Did she? Oh, she's in some good company then.
Kadan, are you still here?
Yeah.
Are you ready to call it a night?
Mm, I can keep going. It's only what? It's only been um like what time is it?
We're under an hour and a half.
Okay, see?
Yeah, you came on at 2, right? That's when you come on.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, we're kind of
So I'm
lazy.
supposed to come on at 9.
Mm.
I like went off air crying last time I was on and took the rest of the week off. Just didn't even talk to anybody.
What's that?
Just good practice. If you if you walk away from your steam crying, if you cry on air, you don't come back or just take the rest of the week off. Yeah, I had announced that like what I was talking about my anon. Um, we had this, and I called her my Anani wife. Was how she was referred, and we were part of a collective together and stuff. And she was a part of my show from the beginning, and she died, and so I had to tell like the show that the crew that live on air, and I was known about it for about a week, and was kind of like able to keep a grip. Didn't really hit me until I had to talk to people who it really mattered to else. And like I literally had to like just play a song and turn off my mic because I wasn't doing that like that on air. So yeah, last time I was like on air in my show, I literally left my show crying. Like,
Well,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, we were talking about the uh, there are people out there who are like, you don't really have friends on the internet. They're just associates. But
Yeah, say bullshit.
yeah, there's people that I favor. People I talk to a lot. BTS. Um, I I honestly don't care if people know what I'm a part of. You know, as far as if there's
Right.
any actual. Wait a minute, Doc. Don't you dare actually me.
What?
I don't get it, John Doe. I must be getting sleepy because it rolled back and gave us an extra hour because of daylight savings time.
This was
Oh,
someone I'd done a lot of activism with, had done a lot of PETA hunting with, done a lot of spent a lot of rough time with. Just someone that like I see in a chat. We're not talking on something like that. We're talking like, yeah. I think there's different levels of
Oh,
relationships
you, you
a robot.
you're
you have
it's bubonic bot.
online, and
You are roboting like a
for the
motherfucker.
most part, that's true. Like you don't really know people. Am I roboting?
Yeah, you're roboting like a
You
motherfucker.
were,
I could fix.
yeah. You're not anymore.
I don't know.
Now I don't hear anything from him anymore. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh no. We lost another one, Doc.
he probably dumped out just to reload.
Yeah, that was
But
very
I tell you what,
plausible.
I am honestly feeling kind of nappy. Hey, yeah,
Oh,
let's get the chat's thoughts because we're probably only going to do this 5 days a week. So your suggestions of the 2 days that we should actually take off.
yeah.
If you guys want to drop that in the chat, like it's hot.
I liked your suggestion of Tuesdays, especially because you do have, your doctor on call on Tuesdays. So that would be a wise choice for you to be able to take Tuesdays off.
Well, and I'll be honest with you, if we're going to go with that, taking 2 days off, I definitely want them back to back.
So like Mondays and Tuesdays or Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Now that I don't know, but um, initially I was thinking, well, let's not do anything on Sunday because that's Monday morning and most people are, asleep because they're prepping for work.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah, the train just skipped off the tracks again for me.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we're curing your insomnia.
What?
Maybe doing these is just stress relieving enough that your insomnia is uh, not taking hold of you as much anymore.
Yeah, I'm a little. Yeah, I am a little burnt. I was like, well, I'll finish this cigarette and then close out. But good God,
All right, I'm back. Is that better?
it sounds
Welcome
better.
back.
All right. Yeah. Sometimes in the back office, it's at the furthest part away from my building, so sometimes the internet just gets goofy.
It happens.
Well, my internet got goofy this morning. The the stepchild, her only bill responsibility is to make sure and pay cable.
Mm.
She did not pay cable.
Uh,
I woke up like 9 o'clock, and I sit down at the computer, and it's weird. I opened up my Gmail to take a look at something, and I looked at it, and then I tried to open up another window, and all of a sudden it says, DNS server not connected. So I waited. I waited till a comfortable time. I waited until noon o'clock, and I knocked on her bedroom door, and I'm like, "Hey, cable's out, just in case." And yeah, she plugged it in, so it was up and running. Um, well,
Yeah. Did you figure out like you was talking about when I was switching over? Did you figure out what 2 nights you was taking off? I think I heard something about Tuesday nights because you've got doctor on call. That's probably a good idea.
yeah, and honestly, Sunday's kind of a hazy, lazy, crazy day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like back to back, so I don't have to sweat it.
Well, if anything, like I know we wanna try and um cut these shorter.
Well, how long have you been running? Like 3 or 4 hours, right?
On average, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. That's the
that.
same way my morning shows, and it's tough. I've been working really hard trying to keep it at 2 hours, and that's actually a little bit tougher than what it would seem. It's real easy to get for it to get away from you.
Mhm.
Well, that's why. Um. Oh fuck. Oh, John, I just derailed it again.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I don't know what's going on. There have been no drugs used in the making of this stream.
Not the making of, no, but just the during. Oh, speaking of which, hold on.
What what are you doing?
There's a kick. There's tic tacs.
Yeah, tick 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 tack.
She's freshening her breath.
Yeah, ignore the sound of the cat going on and off.
Oh,
It's okay. It's fine.
girl, your
Well,
breath is fresh enough.
no,
God
my
damn.
my. It's not the Xanax or the what's it? The blah 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 blah. It's it's I'm fine.
What cat?
I can still feel my brain working, so that means no, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, honestly, John Doe, I think that's a good point. I was thinking of, you know, doing Sunday, which is essentially early Monday morning, and Monday, which is essentially early Tuesday morning, and how we broadcast. I was thinking maybe the Sunday Monday might definitely pay off. What can?
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. Like by Tuesday, I meant like Tuesday morning broadcast, since you're broadcasting that night, not the actual Wednesday morning. Because to me, like today is Monday. I'm thinking of this as a Monday broadcast.
Uh, yeah.
I guess just because you're like 6 hours before, and we're like not even 6 hours from my show, and to me, I'm like thinking in my show terms, it's Monday morning.
Yeah, I'm. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a huge. Uh, I'm not a huge fan of the morning time. I mean, I worked third shift for many years, and this to me.
You know what? I'm not either. Well, I first like my normal sleep schedule is to be asleep then. That's like for normies. That's like they're 3 o'clock in the morning, and I really struggled with it. I still do like the times. Like I'd rather be asleep, but that's just when that show is. I don't know. It's kind of taking a life of its own.
That's not necessarily bad.
No. Like I don't really do. It's not even a big show, and I don't ever expect it to be a big show. Um, but it's like I've got maybe 10 or 12 people who are just core people. Like I've got a very active chat. Like we just um, it's a chat oriented show. I guess for me internally, the idea is that That's just my. I'm an insane person drinking this cup of coffee in the morning, and the live chat is all the voices in my head, so everyone gets the wrench. And if I've actually gotten strikes from playing their shit that they've suggested or whatever they want to watch. And to me, it's just all the crazies in my. You get what I'm saying? We're just browsing the internet with the
Oh yeah.
insane crowd in
You
my
know
head.
what? Wait. John Doe, he's saying take your 2 days off after Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or Sunday and Monday, so you can have prep time for your interviews. I say, John Doe, Mr. Doe, Mr. John Doe, John with the J-O, and which rhymes with Doe. I'm going to say, why don't we just say, fuck it and just do 4 days? We'll take Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And if we feel like streaming on any of those days, we'll fucking do it. But otherwise, we're gonna just relax on those days, and if we, feel up for it, we can do it. I mean, why the fuck not, right?
Well, yeah, I could get a nice lobby card made up for that too.
Yeah, and then this way, Mondays, you'll have the night off so you can prepare for doctor on call on Tuesday, and then you don't have to stress about Tuesday evening. And then Wednesday, we'll throw up in the air as a possibility of maybe yeah, maybe nah, you know.
Oh,
They're up in the air, not on the cat, Doc.
well, some will call him A, some will call him B. Uh,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I hate to say this, but I'm headachy and dizzy as a motherfucker right now.
I have that effect on shows that I visit.
No, I mean this came on before you even hit the ring. So
Yeah.
good.
You all right?
Yeah, I probably should just crash.
Yeah.
But let's do some shilling before we get out of here. So
I gotta find my link again.
Yes, you do. Well, you can talk about it while you.
Yeah. Well, I got the morning word. I've got my channel link right here. There's the morning word. I'm supposed to broadcast at 9 o'clock in the morning. The word's actually a gaming clan. I'm the commander of. It's Wordplay Gaming. From the world of tanks and the war gaming. Whoops. There we go. That's my channel. Normally, I'm supposed to be on at 9. Usually, it's like around 10 in the morning, Eastern Standard, normal people time. Tuesday nights, I do the Cringe Factory with Social Rec. He's still a Social Rec. He just changed his channel name. A lot of people think he nuked his channel. That's not actually the case. He just changed the name for our show. That's Tuesday nights after Doc. When you get done watching Doc, hop over and see us. I'll have a link ready for that.
Yeah, I called him an asshole because I'm like, you realize that since you slotted in at 9, I will probably miss most of the good RecBot slams.
We've been thinking like about the format of the show and like trying to bring in more. We actually have a plan for that, to how to deal with that, and we're doing more. We're going to do more small clips at the very beginning, kind of as a warm up for us, and that way when we get in, because a lot of times, like what I try and do is take all the different crazy clips I put together, and try and find some overarching like theme to them, and then we'll just build from that. And so, before we get into that, the meat and taters of the show, of the cringe, then, just do some small shit. And then, And then when your crowd starts, because we always see, like, as soon as you quit broadcasting, we'll see a jump in our shit. So, yeah, I don't really have so much to do with the time. That's more on him. He's the one with the time constraints. I'm not I. So, yeah. Yeah, it's a tough. YouTube's become a tough. I remember like it used to be no one broadcast, and now it's like everybody's broadcasting all the time.
Well, yeah, because if you go back in the day, it was mostly creating videos on subjects.
Yeah. Well, it's like when I started my morning show. I started it because because Social Rec quit broadcasting,
Yeah.
and he quit in the morning. He quit doing his show, and I was to replace that. And back then, nobody, I mean, nobody was on in the morning. Like before, there was me, I'd be on, and then there would be Maddie's new show. What was it? And Mad. I can't remember what. Man, that's horrible of me. But there was a new show on after mine. I was only supposed to run for 90 minutes, and then she was going to run, and then Kumite would come on after that. And we would just, one would just move right into the other, and now it's all like everyone's all over the place now.
True.
Like the last month, people have been just broadcasting in the morning just to spite one another. Like, wow, it's amazing to me. But no, we're just having fun in the morning. Like, I'm usually doing we're usually doing a hunt. I'm hunting down horrific shit at night, and that's just how I deal with it. So I won't deal with anything serious. I won't deal with anything drama. I won't get into anything like seriously newsy. We're making fun of absolutely anything that we come across. I'm just trying to deal with what the last night was. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oof. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna have to bail because
All right,
nothing
man.
is.
I appreciate you having me on.
Oh.
I won't keep you up.
No problem. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man.
Hi,
Bail.
everyday man. Bye, everyday man. Hi, Malachite. Bye, Malachite. All right, everybody. We're going to bed or something. I'm gonna go and
Yeah, I'm all about the
drink.
Crash Bandicoot at this point.
All right.
And I put Doc Streamlabs in the thing. Click it.
Hi, Malachi.
Hey, and you know what? I'm only $4 away from my personal goal. So if you have a couple of ducats that you want to throw, please feel free. Or you can find the best in bootleg Medicare merchandise on the Doc Griffin T Public store.
Doc Creed.
I sold apparently tonight. I sold 4 whole stickers, so I made like 50 cents off of each one of them.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. And
You're on your way to buying a joint.
I tell you, yeah, once I get certified, my doctor's already told me that he will scribe for me. I'm like, all right, good.
No, I've got a doctor who scribe for you now.
Well, that
Like right now.
that would be nice, but I don't have the money to go.
Yeah, I think it's like $100. He'll do it over the web.
Oh, Jesus.
Certified in Ohio.
Yeah, my doctor charges $61 per visit.
Ooh, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go, man, because we'll just keep talking, acting and shit, and I know you need to go lay down.
Yeah, man. I'm no cat. Don't get up here. Okay, yeah, and Kadant, would you please do your shillery?
I did. I'll put the Streamlabs link in the chatty chat.
No, your personal shillery.
Oh, I'm done. Hi, Blackout. Bye, Blackout.
Hey,
But
Blackout.
Good luck, Blackout.
Doc has it in the description if you're really curious, and then at the top of my Twitter, I have like all the people you should be following, like the people who did like the arts, and then there's Lo-Fi, who's quite gulp, and then there's the Doc. I swear, if none of y'all are following and sub to Doc, you need to do that. So just do that, cause yeah, I can't feel my lips right now, and it's really good.
I've got shit down there, Twitter, Streamlabs, Patreon, and of course the magical T Public store. The only thing I'll promote at this point is for Doctor on Call this Tuesday, director Jim Wynorski bailed, and if you guys really want that story, just tune into yesterday's stream. I go in.
You need a guest?
Huh?
You need a guest?
I've
No, I
got
mean not me, but like I know you said you was a director for B movies, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I guess I've known an actress who's been in like 50 or 60 B movies. I'm sure I could get her for you.
Sure. What's her name?
Her stage name is Bridget McCullough. McCullough. She does like horror movies and stuff like that. She was in Blank Face. She's in Space Babes from Outer Space. Just a bunch of shit, bunch of small shit.
No.
But she's done. I mean, like I'm literally, I bet she's in. I mean, shitloads of 50, 40, 50. Like I don't really follow movies, so I don't know, but a bunch. Yeah.
Well, yeah. If you want to throw me some info
Yeah, I'll throw you her
on the
IMBD.
Discord.
Yeah, I'll throw you her IMBD on the Discord,
Okay. Well.
and I'll talk to her probably tonight or tomorrow. What time is it? I may still talk to her tonight,
Mm.
but I'll see if she wouldn't come on. I'm sure she would. I'll promote her new movie.
Yeah. I've got um, um, RTL Merc coming on, which
Oh, okay, you got a replacement. Cool.
oh yeah, there's so many people that I want to talk to, so many interesting people that I'm not going to say that they're lining up for it, but they're very kind to me by deciding to come on, and yeah, it's kind of nice to have interesting people out because we're gonna sit back and do an honest talk about. He's part of the Michigan militia.
Oh yeah, I'm catching that, man. I'm gonna have to bail on that one early, but yeah, I'm definitely going to try and catch that.
Yeah, and I think that's something that has a shit ton of misinformation and even more paranoia from those that are against it and don't even know why. They're just like, oh, it's honkies with guns running around in the woods.
It's one of those things you're allowed to say whatever you want about it, and no one's going to care. No one's going to come berate you because you said this thing about them.
Yeah.
Like, like yeah. All right, I'm getting off here. I'm going to let you go. Hey, I sent you a IMDb
Yeah.
link in the chat or in the Discord, and I'll talk to her.
All right.
See if I can't hook that up for you, man.
Cool. I appreciate it.
Cool, man.
Uh,
All right. Later. Good night, all.
have a wonderful
Love you,
evening,
Jack.
Bye,
How's everybody? All right.
Thanks
Good
for
night.
joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Good night. It was fun playing with you.
Mm.
And so yeah, kind of a very short night, but I certainly do want to thank Bubonic for you coming on, and well, gosh, that was the only guest as I remember, but the marvelous magical co-host Kadant, who will probably um, since she's had so many pills, she will probably rattle when she walks.
I'll be fine.
I know you'll be fine, girl.
Oh, fine as hell. Hey, girl. Hey.
Yo, Long Beach, Compton represent.
You.
But yeah, I think we'll be doing this tomorrow until I actually get my shit together. But I don't know because you've got some IRL shit that you got to take care of tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep you updated and let you know how that trip is going.
Okay.
Mm.
Sounds like a good thing. So yeah, I think I think I'm gonna call it because my brain is Swiss cheese and I'm having god damn. I mean, I didn't do anything today, and yet it feels like that I've worn myself out. That's so weird. But yes, this is your doctor on call. Please feel free to stop by on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard to see who I'm having a conversation with that week. I'd like to wish everybody, because wow, we're moving into the workday again. So hopefully you have a positive, happy, healthy, and creative day today. And hopefully uh, everything's going to work out just the way you want it to. And if it doesn't, just fake it till you make it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
this is Doc Griffin, and thank you very much
Good done.
for showing up. And um, what am I doing today? Well, right now, I'm going to bed, fuckers. Bye.
Later.